agreed, and it's kind of shocking, really. They're going to free Evan Gershkovich and Paul Whelan in a multi-country prisoner swap. It's not just Russia and the United States, but multiple countries. Now, this makes me feel that Putin is trying to find some soft ground to land on here. Russia and the United States have agreed to swap prisoners in an extraordinary multi-part deal, according to senior Biden administration officials. The swap will allow the two wrongfully detained American citizens that are being held right now by Moscow. According to the Wall Street Journal, their reporter Evan Gershkovich and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan are going to return home. Whelan has been there since 2018, a political prisoner. He was convicted of espionage, which he says is absolutely insane, and has been sitting in prison in Russia since 2018 for over 6 years. Then there's Evan Gershkovich. He's 32 years old. He was arrested by Russian authorities back last year in March of 2023. Also charged and convicted of espionage, in which he was sentenced to 16 years in prison here last month. He's been there since March of 2023. He and the U.S. officials flatly deny, and with President Joe Biden saying that Gershkovich was targeted for being a journalist and for being an American. After an unusually hasty trial in Russia that played out behind closed doors, Evan Gershkovich was found guilty and sentenced to 16 years in a high-security maximum colony. Paul Whelan, who holds a U.S. and British and Irish and Canadian citizenships. That's right. Paul Whelan is a citizen of the United States, of Britain, of Ireland, and of Canada. He was arrested in December of 2018 while traveling on an American passport in Russia. He was also accused of espionage. He is a former Marine. Well, once a Marine, you're always a Marine. Both Biden and Trump administrations denied the allegations against Whelan because this happened to him while Trump was in office. He was convicted on the charges in June of 2020 and sentenced also to 16 years in prison. He has been serving them in harsh conditions for the last 6 years. For some reason, Putin is going to swap. He's going to let those two guys go, but we're hearing that it could be 30 or 40 prisoners being released from multiple countries. And how many Russians do we... Okay. I'm so sorry. We don't know how many Russians that the United States is going to release here. We don't know. Russia and the United States have agreed to this prisoner swap. The swap will allow, of course, as I said, former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan and Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich to be released. But also, this is quite interesting. How many people did Russia get in this? Okay, we're still looking for these answers. It's a very fluid situation, but we're hearing this 20, maybe 30, could be as high as 40 people released from multiple countries involved in this entire deal. The White House has yet to speak. We haven't heard from President Biden. We really haven't heard from President Biden in the last, since he officially announced he was resigning, or not resigning from the presidency, but walking away from the election. Really, we haven't seen him or heard much from him. We're expecting maybe that we'll hear from him today. Or does he let Harris announce this? I would think he would do it, okay? We don't know if he's been on the phone with Vladimir Putin on this whole deal. Knowing what just exactly I would think that probably not, that due to his decline, that maybe some of the other staff are involved now in cutting this deal, making this happen, and just how many people. We're still waiting on some kind of major announcement on this. But I am hearing that it could be somewhere between 20, 30, or even as high as 40 different prisoners being swapped. How many of them are American besides the two main ones? Don't know. What other countries are involved in this swap? Don't know yet. How many Russians had to be released for this deal to happen? Don't know. We're hearing multiple, okay? I'm just looking. Give me 1 second here. I may have something just in the last 13, or let's see, 7 minutes ago. We're hearing that. We're also hearing that journalist Alusa Kurmasovich. Now, Larry, that she may be also involved in this. Okay, which she's a Russian. And I just said her name wrong. Her name is Alsua Kurmasova. I'm not going to try it again. Anyway, she may be also involved in this. We're hearing that just now, as she would be one of the top people that Russia wants back. Also, we're hearing that there are some other people that have been held, that have been cruelly imprisoned in Belarus. And also some Russians. There's also some people who have been in Crimea who may be also getting turned loose. We're hearing that Ihar Lozik and Andrei Kuznechik in Belarus, also Vladislav Yaspiniko in Crimea. I'm saying their names wrong. Several U.S. media outlets report that Wall Street Journal Evan Gersovich, as I've said, U.S. Marine, former Marine Paul Wheeling also are going to be released. But also, as I said, there's also an activist, Vladimir Kermursa, who is a dual Russian-British citizen. We're hearing now that he's going to be released, okay? And so there's just, again, it's way too early. Olga Kardova is a lawyer. She's being swapped out. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to have to wait and see just how many how many prisoners are being exchanged. But it looks like a lot of people in a lot of different situations. All right. So this is a big swap. This is a big release. There's going to be a lot of relieved families, a lot of happy people, probably all the way around. And you got to wonder, why is Putin wanting to do this? Why is he now willing to do this? I'm sorry about that. I was reading. I know the camera was off there. I'm sorry. I was reading on another page. Why is he willing to do this is the question, Is his standing in the world? He got shut out of the Olympics. The Olympics is going on right now. China's in the Olympics. Everybody's in the Olympics. Russia was told, stay home. You don't get to play. You don't get to participate. He's getting a bad rap around the world. He's being isolated. I mean, Iran is in the Olympics.